Visit Elias Restaurant, a unique Greek Caribbean fusion restaurant where the food is heavenly, the service divine, and the ambience mesmerizing. Enjoy bakes and saltfish, roti, jerk chicken, curry chicken, stew fish, oxtail, curry goat, stew turkey, pea soup, comfort soup, sorrel beer, ginger beer, Slovaki dinners, clubhouse sandwiches, and so much more. Visit Elias Restaurant, located at 3310 King Street in Toronto, Canada. Welcome to this edition of Caribbean House Talk. And Caribbean House Talk, we always aim to bring you the issues from funny to curious and even tearfully serious. And today's Caribbean House Talk, we're very hungry, so we decided to start snacking. You know, I realized this is something that was missing from the table. We don't have little snacks. So today we have our little carrots, as long as we don't do any double dipping, folks.
Yeah.
Double dipping. Okay. So, in today's Caribbean House Talk, we, as always, we start off with our spicy dish segment. And the spicy dish is a kind of sexy, provocative little topic sometimes that may not be suitable for small children. So we're going to ask you to, if you have small children, please let them leave the room because these topics may not be appropriate for them. Alright, so we're going to start off with our spicy dish. Ladies, you looking festive as usual. Are you all ready to roll with our spicy dish section?
Yes.
Alright.
Okay, let's see what we have.
Alright, so I'm going to start with Amalfi. I'm going to let her take out the first spicy dish topic.
Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, and this is the first one. Does nationality factor into who you date or marry?
No, man.
No.
When you're thinking of dating or marrying someone, does their nationality factor into it? I'll take that one. I'll say that it used to. There was a time when I would not be caught that dating, much less marrying someone who was not Vincentian. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It had to be not just a black man or a Caribbean man. It had to be a Vincentian because my way of looking at it was, when I'm ready to go home, when I'm ready to retire, and I can't speak for other islands, but most people from my country, we don't see this as a place that we want to die. No offense. We come, we walk, we live, we have our children. We'll always have a connection to here. This would always be one of our homes. But we're looking for that day when retirement comes, we want to go back to our country. Most of us, not all. So that was my way of looking at it. But guess what? I married twice, Vincentian. Right? Do I have any of those men today? I'm still going back there by myself. Right? So for me, personally, there was a time when that didn't matter. Now, it doesn't matter. I still go for happiness. Forget about all that nonsense.
My only drawback is, I mean, I'll marry anyone, but I want to be able to speak the language. I don't want you to speak a language behind my back in the house, and I don't understand it. So that is my problem. You know, but the nationality doesn't bother me. It's just...
But if there's a language other than your native language, you might have a problem.
I need to be able to speak. If I'm married to a Hispanic, I must be able to understand what he's saying
Behind your back.
behind my back, or or whatever, with his friends. But it doesn't bother me otherwise.
I remember going on a date with this Haitian guy, and he would go into fluent Creole. And I said, well, what were you saying? And he would tell me what he was saying, and that he only did it just to show me because I had asked him one time if he spoke Creole. I have to be honest and say this is not something he did all the time or anything like that, but he did do it a few times. He said, I wanted to show you that I could speak Creole. I don't know if he was telling the truth. I did feel a little funny, but I felt, maybe whoever he's speaking to, that's their mother tongue, but, and it wasn't like I was part of the conversation. But it did kind of make me feel, you don't know if he's calling you a big B or what the hell he's saying because you don't speak his language. I think for me more the language thing might be an issue.
It's a little issue. My grandchildren speak Spanish. They come to the house. Ashley speaks Spanish. I sometimes I say shut up because I don't understand what she's saying. Maki, I did learn Spanish but if I don't use it, I lose it.
Yeah.
But if they're speaking, sometimes I understand. But I think, I would love to know the language to be around.
So not so much a
that
nationality
person.
to you, but a language.
A language, yeah, that bothers me.
It wouldn't bother me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I happen to love languages, and there was a point in my life when I was younger where I spoke fluent French. I understood at least pretty well Spanish and even a little Italian. So I happen to love languages. Can't speak any of them now because I don't use them. Just as you say, when you don't use it, you kind of lose it. But I can kind of read and understand. But for me, I feel like over time there are certain things that you're going to learn. If they're saying something bad, it's not just that they say the word, it's how they say it. You can tell when somebody's saying something really nasty about you by the tone and the way it's the reflection of it, how it's said. But yeah, that wouldn't bother me. I think mostly when I was younger, I would only, my mindset was only, marry someone black or Hispanic. I would never look at, anyone white or anything like that. But I think times have now changed so much that, you kind of look, I say you have to kind of open your heart up to whoever loves you.
Happiness. Happiness.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I mean, I spent my whole life putting myself in this box. It had to be a black man, it had to be a Caribbean man, and most specifically, it had to be of intention. Because when I'm going home to retire, I wanted to make sure my husband is there with me. Nonsense. Marry for happiness. You will have your natural preferences, but marry for happiness.
Because other guys, if they're married to you from other countries, and you're going to St. Vincent, they're gonna go with you.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to go there? Once you have your finances.
Yeah, they'll get there before you get there.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
but for me, it's kind of on the fence with that.
but you're married to a Grenadian and you're intention.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. But then for the language thing, I don't think I'm gonna go into something that I can't understand. And honestly speaking, I just feel a little paranoia about that because I don't know what they're saying.
So you don't have a problem with the
really
nationality, Claire,
No.
because you're married to someone from another nationality, but you have a problem maybe possibly with the
with
language.
the language.
Where
Yeah,
is
language
your
is
husband
my
from?
peeve.
Is your husband from?
Jamaica.
Oh, he's Jamaican.
Oh,
Okay.
The language is my peeve.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah, I didn't like dating anybody, marrying. I dated other people from other nationality, African American, Haitian.
but I should say there's two
Dominican.
places
I
that
dated the other guys.
actually afraid of. Two countries I'm actually afraid of.
What?
I don't even want to be friends with anybody from. But
Oh,
it's
wow.
just me.
Oh.
So I'm not even gonna say it because it's not gonna sound right. So
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's it.
but
But
deep
there are
down-
countries where you
but-
wouldn't even be friends with somebody from those countries.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Well, let me tell you though, the thing
But-
about language though, you don't have to be afraid so much anymore because with technology, you can actually record it and kind of ask a translator to
yeah,
translate
and they
for
do.
you. So you can find out what somebody is saying.
But
That is
if
true,
I had
but-
to now, though, I would cross over.
Yeah,
Oh,
things
white
are different.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Just for the, I'm very curious, really. You know.
But
about-
aren't Jamaicans,
I'm-
let me just say this,
I
not
am
to
quite
stereotype,
curious,
but
yeah.
aren't Jamaicans of most of the Caribbean islands, aren't Jamaicans more likely to marry a white person? Or a person of not another race?
Yeah, they're more
Or-
open.
than
They're
other
more,
Caribbean?
yeah, they're more open to that, you know.
Mhm.
And I have been curious, really. I won't lie.
I'm not that curious.
Yeah, I'm curious. I always thought when I wasn't married, I visited Rome, and I was much younger, and I was sort of looking around in the bars, just curious, with my friends. You go there because, and I saw these men, and I said, wow, so that is always in the back of my head, would I meet, because you met nice people. They were very friendly, very hospitable, towards you and all that. And then because I'm from Jamaica, my accent still stays there, so like they're intrigued by that. But I didn't have the guts to really, follow up with that.
Well, have you seen that show, that reality TV show where they take about, I think it was about 5 black women and take them to Rome, and these men just went gaga over these
They
women.
do, the black woman,
Yes,
so
I
because of that, my curiosity just stayed in the back of my head there,
Well,
it always stayed
the
there.
average Italian, about 7 or 8 generations back, would have had a black grandparent. So they're not truly like
Yeah.
lily white. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of black people, they might say, well, if I'm going to date, including me, I've said, if I was going to date a white guy, probably would be Italian. Because I feel like he's not like lily white. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with being lily white. It's just for me.
Let me tell you, it's the ones here. Maybe you might have a little doubt about, because they're here.
They've
They've
been
been changed, but
Americanized
And
America,
they're tainted with
some of
them.
the racism
all
in America.
kinds,
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you really travel out, I have learned that. I went to not Australia, but not New Zealand, the other one, I forget. But the people are, the white people, the men especially, they are so outgoing and so,
They might just be curious too, just like you said, you're curious. See, I'm not that kind of
in
curious.
France, oh my God, they were like we were, I remember somebody asked me, they said, are you all real? Let me touch you. They're curious too, and those were the days, of course. So that was fun,
Now, I wouldn't have any kind of feeling of somebody who wanted to touch me. What do they want to touch you for? To see if it's gonna rub off?
No,
Yeah.
it's not that,
Yeah,
Trish.
I never
Just-
saw it that
It's like
way,
a thing of like, wow, you're so beautiful.
You're so beautiful.
And
Let
your
me
skin
touch
is
you.
so
Yeah.
beautiful,
Yeah, they were
Not in a negative
yeah,
way.
It wasn't in a negative way. Oh, the
Fix
men,
your mouth. Stop
the
it.
men in France,
Everything's not negative.
they were so beautiful, but the language I couldn't understand.
I
a word.
love
I say
hearing
again,
French.
marry or date for happiness. Somebody who treats you with respect regardless of their race. Me personally, the person that make my juices flow, so to speak, is usually a black man.
Well, that's
That's
perfect.
just me.
That's perfect.
And that's good.
Okay? I would not say at this point in my life that I would rule out anybody just strictly because of their race or nationality. That's the young, naive Trish that would do that. But natural, the natural
Not
thing for
naive.
me
That was
is
30 years ago. 30, 40 years ago, things were so much different.
Yeah.
Race relations,
Yes.
so it
Oh,
was a lot
yes.
different.
Right.
Now everybody is so like
Dating.
open to
Dating interracial.
I said just be happy.
be happy.
Oh, Lady H, pick on
Be
that
happy.
topic.
Let me do.
No,
You gotta twist it more now. Come on, Lady H, you gotta twist that in a little more there.
Have you ever used your looks to manipulate a man?
all the time.
Okay.
I don't remember ever doing that.
No, I don't.
I don't think
I'm
so.
very flirtatious, and I think it's gotten me I'm just very flirtatious. I'm not flirtatious in any kind of a lewd or vulgar way, but I'm very flirtatious in my smiles and stuff. And I mean, men still appreciate when a woman flirts with them.
Oh yes,
Or
they
be
do.
very, I remember one time I went on this bus trip, and the driver just took a fancy to me. We were going to Atlantic City. I went with a friend of mine, and he just took a fancy to me, so he wanted me to drive it, stay up front with him, and we're chatting and everything. And whenever I wanted something done, like when we stop at a rest stop or whatever, I would just give him one of those little flowers. I was single at the time. And he said to me he says, "Oh God, don't give me that husband stuff." Don't give me any of that husband stuff. Like I know you women, when you want your husband to do something, but I have used my looks to get what I want. So, Listen, if you saw me when I was younger, most people thought I was a model. And I'm not saying that to try to push myself up. I was very tall and skinny. As you could tell, I'm tall, but now I'm much chunkier. But I was tall and slender. And hey, legs up to here. And
Boobs out there.
and boobs, I got the boobs, and I'm slim, and I got a butt. Oh dear! I mean, men, I'm interested in love those
Love
things.
those things.
So
Right.
heck, I used them many times to get what I wanted. Not I'm going to sleep with you to get what I want, but I'll just be in your presence, flirt a little bit, and
It's on.
I remember when I first got married, my first husband said to me, "Learn to change your car tires," and I said, "No. I'm not going to change my car tire because some men will come along because I'm cute and they'll change it for me." And he said, "Yeah, he also could do something dangerous to you." And And one day I did have a flat tire, and of course this guy came and he changed my tire for me. But I still say I should still want to do it, so I'm not doing it because
It's
I
so
can't.
sexy when a
because I
woman
can't do it.
change your tire.
Hell no.
Oh,
It is
no.
so
Okay.
it's such a. I changed my car tire.
No.
And it is so sexy because you feel like so powerful. You really need him, you know.
Mm-mm. I'm not changing no car tire.
I changed my
Unless
car
I have
tire.
no choice.
I
I
had
change
to-
one, don't know how to.
I had to one night I went in my gown in the Bronx to a function, and as I pulled up, I realized I had a flat tire, and I didn't have AAA, so I got out and I realized in my car I always have a blanket and all these things. I took up my stuff and I pulled my gown up, and I stooped down and I changed my tires. And would you believe?
Wow.
There were 3 men passing by, going to the same function. And you know that what they said? Didn't even come help me.
Oh, they
They
Caribbean
said-
men?
Wow.
Caribbean men, and they said, women's liberation.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the
That's
days
so
when
nonsensical.
and I finished, mark you, I was a little ruffled, you know what I mean? I finished and I got in the bathroom and I cleaned up myself and perked up. And I got in there and I told those 3 men off so bad.
Mhm. But that's why I asked if it's Caribbean men, because I would say this. I've dated African American men,
How dare
and
you.
the average African American men, let me say this,
Talks.
the average,
But-
everybody have their good,
I tell you.
okay, no side conversation. Everybody have their good and their bad, but the average African American male will not watch you, a woman,
That's
change your
horrible.
tire.
Yeah.
and that's that. But a Caribbean man, many of them would do it.
What?
And they said, woman,
Wow.
when I actually spoke to them, they said, you all don't want men to do this and that, women's liberation, so that's what you get.
That's terrible.
That was so insulting. You know what? Thank God I could do it for myself, you know? Yeah.
Well,
And that's a misconception that because we say we want to be liberated, we want to get equal pay for the equal walk and so forth, that doesn't mean that we don't. Listen, I still like a man to hold the chair for me, hold the door for me.
Of
You know?
course, yeah.
and the man
Put his
still
hand,
wants a woman
put his hand
to make
possessively
it
on my
play
back
the
because he
other
guide me wherever.
Traditional things too. So. That's
Yeah,
not
it
nice.
shouldn't be in
But I
all
think-
aspects of our lives.
Mhm.
Yes, we want to be
Yeah.
liberated, we want to be feminist, but it doesn't mean that we can
We still get turned down by a man who's a real man. Okay, we don't want a man who would watch us change a car tire. I
Right.
remember going to the Vincentian picnic. My country has a picnic in Heckscher State Park every year. And the thing that we got broke and stuff started falling. And every one of those Caribbean is Vincentian, particularly Vincentian men, passed us by. They did not even say, let me help you. It took a woman who stopped and said, let me help you guys with this. Let's put these in. I'll take this for you. You take that, and got us to where
Yeah.
we're going.
Yeah.
I thought that was disgusting. Like, what kind of a man, a real man, does that?
Oh, yeah.
And it's a cop out to say, oh, woman's labor.
The Caribbean men are guilty of that.
They're guilty of that. They don't have those
Wow.
gentlemanly. A lot of them, not all of them. When you find one that's a real man, he's a real man. But when you find some of these men who from the Caribbean and more, we're not trying to knock Caribbean men saying all of them are like that, but we find that more likely it would be a Caribbean male that would watch a woman change a tire or her stuff is falling and not pass. And what did your mother do to raise such a pig that you would do that?
man.
That's not a man.
Man
And I
sit
tell you
back
that
and
that
watch
would be
that.
such a turn out. Even
It's
if you like me, you
disgusting,
couldn't have
yeah.
a chance in hell if you would do that.
Mhm.
You know, you're not a man. What did your mother do to raise you that way that you would think that is okay?
Wow.
Well, I can just go off of that one because I've seen too many kids of Caribbean men doing that. No manly qualities, and they want you to respect them. I'm not gonna respect you when you're not a man. I got a little son I'm not teaching him to do stuff like that. If he see me, like when we go somewhere with even his grandmother, he takes over. I don't have to say, Jojo. He knows to get Granny from the house to the car, tuck her in the car seat,
Open the door.
open the door, get her into the building. That's his job. I don't have to say it.
So when you pull up to get gas, does he get out and help? Or
But
he
that's
just
my next
sits in
thing.
there?
That's my next thing.
Because
Not yet.
that is a question that been asked several times this past week.
Mhm.
Does the man sit in the car while when you pull up to get gas?
I tell my husband, get out the car and pump that gas.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay? His
I
thing,
never
we'll
did
go to
that.
Costco's and I have a car or whatever. I'll get out. I swipe my card, and then I'd be like, okay. And he knows. Get out the car and pump the gas. I'm not going to have no man sitting there in the seat
Right.
just chilling out and I'm pumping gas.
That's
You
true.
do it.
That's true.
So I do
You're
believe
trying.
there are certain things that are certain roles that I feel things that you blend into that are traditional, and yeah, get out and pump the gas.
Yeah, I agree. If I have to be with you and I have to go pump my own gas, you're all going to laugh. Until the breakdown of my second marriage, I had never pumped my own gas. I would go to a gas station and pumped it, or if I'm going someplace, it's
Yeah.
because one of my husbands, were in that car with me and they were going to pump it. It was when that, and I realized the mindset of me at that point is like, I'm not going to do this again with this marriage thing.
Yeah.
Then I learned to, that's the
Say
first
pump
time
gas.
about, I would say 6 years ago that I ever got out of a car and pumped my own gas. Yes, and it's interesting you asked about my son, because that's the only other thing I'm going to be working on him with now that he's older, to get out the car and pump the gas. Because he's not that far from driving age, and just from a gentlemanly quality that my son cannot let me see a woman is behind of him and he just walks into a building and not hold the door for her.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yes,
I mean,
I
there are
like-
just certain things that men, should do.
Their
My
values.
husband, he will sit there. I get mad because we'll be coming out of our apartment door. He's got to hold the door for everybody. I'm like, come on, we
Yeah.
got somewhere to go.
Right.
But this is the
Oh, he
way
was
he was
raised.
taught.
Yeah.
You hold the door for women. You let them go first. You get up in the elevator. He wants you to go first. He lets me go first. That's the way I think
Until
A real man.
good quality.
But it comes to us as mothers doing this with our children. Let your son get out of the car and pump the gas for you.
A lot
Hold
don't.
the
That's
the door for people. You make him be conscious of those things, because those men that you see past me when I was struggling with that big container that popped, or who watched Mrs. Harrison change her car, they were not raised right. That is why they did that. They were not raised right.
Okay.
You
Well,
know.
if those men were walking with wives or whoever, the woman should have told them too. Go over there and help. Hey, what is wrong with you?
Well, maybe she don't like her either.
She probably don't know better. Probably it's a cultural thing when they accept it. You know, with me, listen, I'm a girly girl, and I'm not going to do certain things. You see me, I could do a lot of things for myself when I'm by myself, but I'm not going to do certain things in the presence of a male, who is a husband or a boyfriend. And if I have to, you need to get the hell out of my face. I'm not trying to date somebody who's not a man. It's a turn on to me when I have a man who takes care of me, when I have a man who, hold the door for me. Take care of business. You know what I mean?
And when he takes care of you, you want to take care of him
Yes.
too.
Yes,
So
that's my
we
hero.
will end
you
up
know?
falling into those traditional roles too.
Right.
Where you may let me, I'll fix him a plate and get. You'll fall into that too because you naturally do for each other. But I'll be darned if somebody else sit up there and have me do all the stuff and you sitting there comfy cozy. No.
No. No. All right, I'm going to pick the next topic, which is, would you tell your mate that he is a bad lover, or would you suck it up and pretend he's good?
No. No.
If
We got to know. Life is too short.
If it's bad, I'm going to say it's bad because I'm not giving you a chance to get better. I think we covered this in a slightly different way before.
Yeah, but
Where-
what do you
where-
mean you wouldn't give him a chance? If you tell
If you
somebody
don't
what
tell
you
him.
like, but how? Everybody's not going to know what you like unless you tell them.
Right, so that's what
tell
I'm
'em,
saying.
I like it like this. Come on.
Yeah,
go a
I'm not
little
going to say
slow,
you're a bad
go
lover.
little
I'm going to say,
faster.
baby, let me show you how I
know?
like it.
Exactly.
You know? Let me show you how I like it.
Now,
This
if
is
you
how I like
can't
it.
get it right after a while,
Yeah, then I'm like, nah, you
Kick 'em
you
to the
just look
curb,
away.
though.
Yeah. But I'm not going to say, oh, I think it's the way you say it. I'm not going to say,
Yeah.
oh, you're a bad lover or you suck. You're not going to get the best out of any
No.
man if you emasculate him that way. But I could say, baby, listen, I don't like when you do that. You know what I like? I like when you do this.
Yeah.
You know?
you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
you gotta
Oh, that feels
train
good.
them. Tell
Oh,
them
yeah,
what
you
you
got to
like.
train them. You know, trust me. You got to train them and stop lying. For you women who are out there lying and out there moaning and groaning and you don't even enjoy what the hell he's doing, lying to the poor guy, he think he's doing a great job. He think he's knocking it out of the ballpark, and you're there not enjoying it and pretending. That's what makes him a bad lover.
Yeah.
Because you're faking. Stop faking. Stop
If he's
faking.
having a good time, I want to have a good time too. Okay?
And stop
I'm going to
faking.
tell you exactly what I like.
Yeah.
So we could both have a
Have a
good
damn
time.
good time. And guess what? Okay? Stop faking those orgasms, Sonny.
How are you gonna tell him to do
Stop
that?
faking those
Sometimes that's
orgasms.
what these people are gonna do to get.
No. No. Stop faking them, because majority of y'all fake it.
Oh,
Okay?
God.
And I know a lot of you
No.
gonna be mad at me. I'm saying this and men are watching. Y'all need to stop fake it. Okay? Tell the man what he really needs to do to have you get a genuine one. And you know what? If you're not even sure what he needs to do, give yourself one.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait.
That's another.
Wait.
That's another
Give
topic.
yourself one so you could learn your body and tell him where your zones are. You're not gonna know to tell him his zones are if you don't know where they are.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Give yourself-
I'm not saying as a preference. I'm saying
As
you know,
an alternative.
as a teaching moment. As a teaching moment. Like you learn your own body first. If you're somebody, we girls that are in the business a while, but make me sick. It sounds like business.
Okay.
But make it so. What we have to do is learn your own body, learn your own zones. What is it that you like? What form of love making you like? What are the places that does it for you? And so you can tell him. Is it a combination of the stuff? So that's what you need to do, and then be honest with him. But don't break his spirits by saying, "Oh, I don't want to blah 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 blah. I don't like when you do this, and I'm not even feeling nothing." Don't do that. Show him where you want it, how you want it, how
Guide
much
him.
you want it. Guide him. Stop faking them orgasms.
Be
Let
enjoyable
me-
for both.
First of all, okay, I'm not gonna tell too much to these men, but stop faking it, ladies. Stop faking it, and then complaining that he's not good. He's not good because you don't let him develop into something good.
Okay.
Oh. You're getting mad.
I'm just saying. No, I mean, there are a lot of women. There are a lot of women who say, and they'll give you all this kind of fake stuff and tell the men all kind of fake. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? What gives a woman an orgasm? The clitoris. And that could intensify with stimulation of the breasts and kissing and other things, but that's mainly where a woman gets an orgasm from. And stop trying to fake that you're having one when he's not even anywhere near there.
Okay.
Okay.
Lesson
You got the
learned.
message?
Yeah.
Okay? Next. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to go into their help team section of the show. So
Okay.
we'll be right back. Keep it locked.
Visit Elias Restaurant, a unique Greek Caribbean fusion restaurant where the food is heavenly, the service divine, and ambience mesmerizing. Enjoy bakes and saltfish, roti, jerk chicken, curry chicken, stew fish, oxtail, curry goat, stew turkey, pea soup, cowfoot soup, sour beer, ginger beer, Slovaki dinners, clubhouse sandwiches, and so much more. Visit Elias Restaurant, located at 3310 King Street in Toronto, Canada.
I'm Trish,
I'm a mountain.
I'm Irma.
And I'm Caroline.
and we are the Caribbean House Talk. Welcome back to Caribbean House Talk, and we are now in the Dear Help Team section of the show. And this is this is usually a more serious discussion, no more the sexy this and that.
No more sex.
No more sexy stuff in Dear Help Team. Oh no, I mean that's what makes
Clear
us
about
us.
that. Okay.
So in this part, we're doing Dear Help Team. And so I want you guys to weigh in on something for me. When do you say enough is enough when someone is expecting too much from you? Whether it's that you're taking them in, maybe giving them money, holding their kids for them, whatever it is, like somebody in your life who's just taking advantage, and you just feel like you're just giving and giving and doing, when do you say enough is enough?
I'm not even going to answer that because Amalfi tells me that all the time. I don't know how to do it.
Yes, Caroline is a
Oh, dear.
So I'm
giver.
going to pass up.
It's a,
No, we're going to help you.
I think with your experience, you should know. You should weigh in on this one here. But I would say it depends on how much you're doing and how you feel about what you're doing and how often this person is coming back or people are coming back for you to do or say or want, to fill that void. It comes now like you're almost being used, and it's a bad thing, and it leaves a bad taste in the mouth of the one who is being used. And it's just too much at times, because you two have a family, you have your business going, you have your running around to do, but they expect you to drop everything and just show up or be there or do for them when they want it. And there are times when you just step back and say, wait a minute, why me? You could go to this other person. But at the same time, when you fill that void at the time when they need it to be filled, and you no longer have any use in that sense, they move on somewhere else, and they're all over the place doing different things, and then when shit hit the fan, they come back to you and expect you to be there to. So in a sense that you just like you're on the side waiting to be used, and that's my take on that.
When do you say enough is enough? I say enough is enough when I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling that something is becoming more of a habit than a genuine need.
That is true too.
Somebody's asking me to help them with something.
Yes.
Maybe I'll help you a million times if I really think it's a genuine thing and he can't do any better. When I feel like you said, that person who would be all over the place when they don't need you, don't hear from them, but they're always coming with their issues of, I need this, can you do this for me, can you do that for me, and it's starting to feel to the point where I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling used, I'm feeling that I am a tool of convenience. At that point, unless you're my mother or my children, because you do put up a little bit more with them,
Even though they do
even
it.
though they do it too. Oh yeah, they do it more than
All the
anybody.
time.
But that's your kids and that's your mother or your father. Then at that point, I think is when I put my foot down. You see, if I'm doing something for you, I need to genuinely feel you're not just manipulating or using me. And I have no problem. I don't care who you are, except those people that I mentioned: my parents, my children, my grandchild. I'm gonna put my foot down, and I have no problem speaking my mind.
But my mouth is not that lazy either anyway, I'll say it. But at the same time, I knew someone who is in this position right now. And it's sad. And
They're being
they
used.
and they can't say no, they're gonna do this stuff, and then they can come and complain and say, oh, this, that. Well, tell the person, don't come tell me. Tell whoever it's getting on your nerve. But they can't do that. They wouldn't do that.
Or sometimes
So-
I feel like they're breaking friendship,
That's the thing.
Not saying
That's the thing.
anything,
Oh,
but-
I know this person for over 30-something years, and we went through a lot, and she was there for me, but then she's no longer there for you because you're in the place where you don't need that kind of thing. But at the same
But
time,
now they
if this
need you.
person, right? And if this person know that they can call on you, they will call on you at all times, even for the littlest, simplest thing that they could handle for themselves. They're gonna call because they know they could call, and they would always cash in that I've been there card with you. But you two have to say, well, I've been there too. But when is it going to end? Because look at me now. I'm in the place where I don't really need to cash in all the time. But you're always cashing in, even though you know, you can do it on your own. And it's just a matter of her can't say no to this person, and it's really tearing her up inside. But then she's gonna come and lay it on me. Cut that part out. And leave me now with this burden that I can't even tell nobody, because my husband ain't even gonna listen to that.
So again, that's the difference. It's starting to feel like a burden.
Yeah.
It's starting to feel like you are being used as a convenient tool. There's a difference when you think somebody genuinely need your help. They can't, and especially if they had a history of helping you, they genuinely need your help, and you can do it without feeling overwhelmed or burdened.
And that's my criteria, Trish. When I make a decision about helping someone, I look at like I always tell Caroline, I look at my luggage. And if I'm already carrying 2 suitcases, I'm not going to carry your suitcase. I have to take care of my suitcases. And my suitcases are me, the first of all, because I have to be able to provide, and then my son. And my mother is there too at the same level. But anyone else, I put in on that little space if I have time. For example, I like to go to the gym during lunch. That's my space. Somebody else comes and says, Amalfi, let's go out to lunch, let's do this. No, Amalfi already has her luggage in there for her gym. If she goes out for lunch, not that I don't do it, I do it for special occasions, and that's where, so the person knows, oh, I'm not going to ask Amalfi to go out to lunch because she needs to do something that is going to benefit me, and it's going to benefit them at the end because I'm going to be in a good mood, and most importantly, my son, because that's my priority. So that's how I decide about how I'm going to help that person.
Are you getting any insights since you seem to be?
Trish, you know me well. You know me, and Amalfi knows me. And I mean, how many times have you both said, you got to stop and cut people off? It's just hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Sometimes it is, especially.
Again, don't think we're discouraging you from helping people. What we're saying is there should be a cut-off point, and you have to know when something is starting to feel burdensome, or you're feeling overwhelmed, or this is more of a convenient thing for someone as opposed to a genuine need that doesn't leave you feeling overwhelmed. You talk about the suitcases, carrying somebody's suitcases, and giving that analogy. So,
and also, Trish, I hate people who come to you and say, "Oh, you're being selfish." And you asking me to do something that you want, and you're not being selfish. It's like, no, I don't say it, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna do what I need to do.
Exactly.
I'm gonna carry only my suitcases.
Your own suitcase.
I'm like, I allow myself to get used.
So you got the two people who get themselves used at the end.
But I can cut off. I can feel it in my spirit, and I can cut off. But I get used a lot. You know how much money out there for me?
I used to be that person, and I'm totally different.
I mean, you know how much, oh my goodness, I just get used. I mean, I can't even explain. My children tell me it's manipulation. You were born in the time when they were giving up this thing. But, I can't help myself. And I always feel that if you come to me, you really are needing more than
not necessarily. You just don't want to do it yourself.
And
and it's not just about money. And maybe people who just want to bother you with their lives.
Not just money, with other things too. And they expect that you must be there at all times. When you say no, that's another.
But they don't
story.
remember the times that you were there all the time. They
But
zero
my
in on that
problem
time.
is that when
Right.
I need, there's hardly anybody there.
Yes, because you're always the one providing.
Because nobody is expecting me to open my mouth and say, "Oh, I need," because I'm always there. But one day, something will give.
We'll
I
get
don't
there.
know.
We'll get there.
I mean, I'm not saying that I never cut anyone off. I have. It just takes a whole lot. I take a whole lot of crap before
Before you get there.
I get to that point with some people, And then like Miss Harrison said, it's like I always feel if somebody's gonna come to me, they must really need it that they come. I don't know. I just need to learn to let go.
Yeah, I don't have a problem, but I used to be like both of you, where I just would loan people money, get used repeatedly, and not just within family, because at least your relative, you kind of like look the other way a lot extra because they're family. And I'm at the point of right now, I cut that real fast. I had this week, I have a Facebook friend, somebody made a friend on Facebook, and two people this happened with, and immediately, two ladies, they're telling me about their hardship. One is telling me that she doesn't have any money, and she doesn't get her government check until next week, and she's saying, that she mentioned to some guy she's friends with on Facebook, and he told her to send him a naked picture, and he was sending some money, and she said no, and he said, well, he must not be hungry. And I said, this is this is the danger that you run into doing, even asking somebody in line or saying something like that to somebody in line. The old me would have run and say, let me send you $50. Let me send you $100. What I said to her instead, I said, do you have government benefits? And she said, because I know that this country is a country that they will get benefits. And she said yes, but she doesn't get it till a week from there. And what I did was counsel her and tell her, okay, you must have someone who you can go to and ask them to lend you this money. First of all, I don't know her, so I don't know if she's a scam, because I don't know her personally. And secondly, it's not to teach people to be dependent and to keep coming to you. But my thing was to kind of point her in the right frame of mind to say, what other things can you do here that would help you, right? She sounded a little bit more consoled when I was finished with the conversation, but the old me would have taken up, and then that would have become some dependent relationship. Where
Yes,
she's
and she will
constantly
come to
coming
you,
to me, and I was like, I'm not even encouraging this.
Mhm.
I feel for you, but I'm going to try to counsel you another way.
And you did help her.
Mm-hmm.
You did help
But
her by
is it
telling
someone who you just
giving her
met?
alternative.
Yeah, I haven't even met her in person. We just became friends on Facebook.
Oh.
So I don't even know you.
Okay.
That's a deep conversation for just being
Kick that
friends.
Right, exactly, because you don't know me. Where do you even but that particular one, she wasn't telling
I
me.
would have a problem with that.
Wait.
Nah.
She wasn't even telling me to give her money directly. She was just telling me.
Telling you the story so you can
Right, so I could get sucked into it, and I'm not getting sucked into it. And maybe you're genuinely having a problem, but I wouldn't be going to somebody and just meet online to ask them that.
No,
You know, that just smells funny to me.
that's a red flag.
Yeah.
And another one, she has 2 children and blah, 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 and I didn't answer that one because she came right out and begged. And I was like, the other
And
one,
that is someone you know too? Or?
no, again,
Oh,
those
God.
people I'm friends with on Facebook. And I thought, even though I don't think it in my war stage that I would do that with somebody I don't know in person, but I used to get sucked in similar to people who I know, who came to me with their sad stories. I cut it. I got issues too. Listen, if I tell people the stuff I've been through in life, and I've had to just weather that storm and try to walk my way out of it. You know what I do when I'm going through stuff, and this is what I said to anybody. Before, I'm not the person that wants to go out and work a full-time job. I'm not of an age where I want to put my body through that. What I tend to do, if I find that I'm going through a little financial adjustment and I need to work some things out, I look at what I could cut back that wouldn't affect me adversely. I'm saying, okay, do I need to get this thing? Shopping maybe out of it for a while. A trip maybe out of it for a while. What other things in my life? I'm not going to cut back on my food. I'm not going to cut back on my utility and my place where my children live, but I could look at how much I burn electricity, how much wastage I do. I try to chop at the wastage. I'm not going out and trying to beg people. So I'm saying this to say I've got issues, things that I went through in life, and I've adjusted my life. And yes, I've taken a little side business to make extra money. Or in my younger days, would have taken a second job. At this stage of my life, I'm not trying to do another job with the job that I have and the businesses that I have and so forth. But I would look at that as opposed to when I'm begging somebody for money, especially somebody I don't even know in person.
Yeah.
So I think going back on the topic of when we say enough is enough when you are feeling burdened, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling someone is coming to you habitually, more out of a habit as opposed to a need, then you say enough is enough.
Yeah.
And you don't curse at them, you don't let it boil inside of you until it gets to the point where you are so upset that you can't even, it gets into a row or argument. What you want to do is just let the person, and understand what you're going through, be empathetic, but I can't do this anymore. I'm feeling this is a bit much. If you have a useful suggestion, guide them towards that possible solution. But you don't want to make people dependent either. To just keep shelling out and handing out and doing for. So that's my feeling on that.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, Lady 8, you're gonna have something for us on Social Security, and you're gonna have something for us on what is it, Cersei?
Cersei.
Okay.
Cersei.
Okay, I think we covered that slightly at some point, but we're going to really go into the benefits of it now. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Keep it locked.
Visit Elias Restaurant, a unique Greek Caribbean fusion restaurant where the food is heavenly, the service divine, and ambience mesmerizing. Enjoy bakes and saltfish, roti, jerk chicken, curry chicken, stewed chicken, stew fish, oxtail, curry goat, stew turkey, pea soup, Calford soup, sorrel beer, ginger beer, Slovaki dinners, clubhouse sandwiches, and so much more. Visit Elias Restaurant, located at 3310 King Street in Toronto, Canada.
I'm Trish.
I'm Mountain.
I'm Irma.
And I'm Caroline.
And we are the Caribbean House Talk. Welcome back to Caribbean House Talk, and we're now in our special reporting section with our resident research specialist,
Yes.
Lady H. Hyacinth Harrison herself. She is going to be doing something for us today. First, you're going to talk about Social Security, what
Yes.
we need to know about Social
Really
Security.
about Social-
Take it away,
And-
Lady H.
Yes, this is just, not in a nutshell. Social Security benefits, when to apply, okay. Are you getting close to your retirement age? That's the question. Then you may have thought of when you'd like to start receiving Social Security benefits. When you apply for your benefits, it's good to have all the required documents in place in order to save time. You will receive the most benefits when you apply for Social Security benefits at the full retirement age, which is between age 65 and 67. You can apply in 3 ways: online, by phone, or at your local Social Security office. However, applying at the local SS office is highly recommended. Just have the necessary documents prior to arrival.
What documents is that?
Well, they didn't really state all the documents.
think your
What I
ID.
would think is like your tax documents and your payroll documents and all that.
An ID,
The-
your ID card.
and your ID and everything. But you have to have all those things that are pertinent to your job, You should apply for Social Security when you are 61.5 years old, as the application process can be potentially time consuming. Regardless, you will not begin to receive benefits until you turn 62 years old. Remember that Social Security benefits are paid within 30 days of being approved. Along these lines, if you're approved and enrolled benefit on your 62nd birthday, you won't begin receiving benefit payments until the following month. Building your benefits. Sometimes playing the waiting game for a little while longer can be highly beneficial. If you are in a position where you do not need your Social Security benefits immediately, you may actually benefit even more. The Social Security Administration can allow you to delay your application and benefits to allow more time for you to work and build up your Social Security benefits. However, regardless of the possibility that you choose to hold up to claim advantages, you ought at the present to fill out completely the benefit application just to apply for Medicare. That is very important. Even though you're applying, if you're not ready for your Social Security benefits, but you have reached the age, you apply for Medicare, because down the road it can be very harmful if you don't have that. So you apply for Medicare 3 months before you turn 65. Postponing your application for Medicare can bring about higher premiums. So it's critical to do it as quickly as time permits, so you can save money in the long run.
So if you retire early, you would not get Medicare if you're not 65 at least.
No.
Okay.
But from my experience, sometimes you get a penalty if you don't have Medicare. When you reach that age, 65. So it's best to start the process just a little before, and then if you're not in a dilemma, you can wait. Wait until you reach the age. Some people do it at 70 years old. But
what is the benefit of doing it earlier? Like if you're not receiving benefits and if you want to do it, my mother's turning 65 next year. So what would be the benefit of her applying for Medicare if she's gonna wait until later on to collect Social Security benefits.
I don't understand.
She's
that.
telling what next year?
65.
Okay.
So she's
So your question is again?
if she's gonna, she suggested that she does it 3 months before she turns 65.
Right.
What is the benefit of that? Of applying
She's-
for Medicare?
Okay, she's saying starting the process
Because
3
it
to
takes
6 months because
it takes
so
it
long.
takes so
before we
long
can
to be
correct it.
approved.
Yeah.
You know, so it's best to do it as early as you get, before you get to that age. If you feel that you're gonna need it when you're 65, because some people just roll along and not bother
And
to
continue
do it.
to work.
But you apply anyway because of Medicare.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah.
So she's not, your mom is not collecting Social Security.
No, she
now.
doesn't want. But if you like you mentioned, if you 65, you mentioned that the premiums may go higher
may go higher
for in Medicare.
for Medicare.
Okay.
Medicare, and you believe me, you don't want Medicare to take all that money out of your
So you
Social
don't get
Security
the benefit.
benefits.
Mhm.
You know,
She's
so
65. You tell her to apply because that's her money.
She will be 65
Tell her
next
to give her
year,
money.
but
Give
she
her-
wants
give
to
her
wait.
Medicaid.
She wants to delay
Medicare.
her retirement to get the full amount.
Which
and
is
she's
fine.
healthy.
And now.
yeah, so
see,
tell her to go in and apply
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
before,
Okay.
and then you have to let them know. That's why they suggest that you go into the office.
Yeah. And
I always tell
Talk to a
go
person.
and talk to a person.
Okay.
Because if you do it online, you can mess up things
Yeah.
for yourself.
And your mom can still work and collect Social Security, even if she's 65. That ruling was made several years ago.
Okay.
So there are people who still work jobs and collect Social Security also.
Is there a maximum amount?
From some of the stuff I've seen, there isn't, but I'm sure maybe there isn't. You'll just be taxed on all of that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and so your Social Security may get taxed if your salary is very high,
Okay.
you know, but
When you go on
Take your
Social
money.
Security, do you have to pay regular taxes?
Yeah.
So they take that stuff out of your paycheck, and when it's time for you to collect it, you still have to pay taxes on it.
You do if you've made a certain amount of money.
If you make a certain amount of money, you gotta pay tax.
But not on the Social Security
Not-
benefits,
not-
Caroline.
Yes,
Yes.
you do.
That
Absolutely.
Social
So
The
you
money
get-
that you already taxed on,
Yeah.
you don't have to pay.
If your pension and your Social Security, you gotta pay a tax on them.
Let's
So
say
you have
that.
to file a tax returns every year,
Yes,
just like
you
that?
absolutely
Wow,
do.
what the?
Wow.
I mean, but suppose, like, for example, I'm just throwing out a number. Let's say that your Social Security benefits were $25,000, and that's all the income you have. So when you file your taxes, it's possible. I'm not saying it's true because you have to look at every instance. But let's say the government finds that because that salary is so low, this is all your income, you don't pay any taxes. But then we have person number 2 who's getting $25,000 in Social Security benefits and also may still be working, maybe making another 25 or 50. So now that income is all together. So they're going to count the 25
but
plus the 25,
I got that.
50, and you're going to be taxed also.
Right.
And so because of your tax bracket now, you may be paying more. Your Social Security gets taxed, some portion of it.
Okay, I got that part, but my question is, if I'm not working, I don't have rental income, I just am relying on a Social Security check.
So you are
You
100%
still have to file
Social Security.
taxes.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's income, according to.
I mean, how does
by
the government know you're
government.
not doing nothing else?
Well, I didn't go out on Social Security because I went out on Social Security disability when I turned 49,
Okay. So
48, I think, and I had been on Social Security disability over the years until eventually, when my case was settled, I went, I got, but you lose out because I'm not putting into the system. So I get a lesser Social Security, but I still have to pay tax on whatever I got. You understand?
That's why
I'm learning
tricky,
something
and
here. Am I something
that's why
retarded?
Ms. Axel says
You know,
you,
yeah,
need to go.
it's-
You should
and
go
it's
in the
very-
office and talk to
And
somebody.
every day the
It's very-
administration, as you know,
Yeah.
changes things.
Right.
because when I was reading all these, doing my research, there were things that I didn't even know. There's a lot of things that have changed, and it's incumbent on you to check out your situation.
Because I'm telling you,
Check
I
out
may
things.
sound clueless here, but I'm being told I'm not answering
Yeah.
this particular question trying to be funny
No,
or try to
but no, you have
spark
to check.
conversation. I honestly thought that if you have Social Security income, the average person who's not making who's not going to get a big, humongous thing,
Right.
they don't have other income. That money, since they've been taking it out and been using it all these years that you couldn't even access it, that you would not be taxed on that money. Isn't that taxing something you already taxed on?
Yeah, but it all depends on your income.
It all depends on your
That's-
income,
that's
because
it.
no, don't forget now. All right, let's say in my case now, it was years before I was ready. Even think about retirement. I had disability. You understand? So I wasn't supposed to be working all those years, even though the government is listening. I had to do my thing, And till finally, I realized that I could get my pension. All along there, I had to be paying something on top of on the little that I was getting. And I thought it was so unfair.
That's what I'm looking at.
It is.
It was so unfair. But I had to go, walk the little line, or else I would have been in
Wow.
jail. You
Okay.
have to toe the line.
Very good, very, very good information.
Yes,
But
everybody needs to check.
whenever you have time, go into your internet and read up on these things, because every day the changes come about, and things that people, when I was doing this race, I'm talking to my sons, and I said, it's so good to know where I have to, and they're not half there, but they, they are researching it themselves, because it's a lot to know. It's a lot to know. And you don't want to come up with surprises when the time comes.
That's true.
I agree.
You don't want to come.
Well, hopefully you guys are taking note and you're learning some things like I'm learning right now. All right, you have another article, another
We're
bit of
gonna
information
talk
for
about
us. We're going to talk about Cersei.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's a cousin to what we in St. Vincent call Corelli, but I'm understanding that's a Corella. Corella.
And what is this, Trish?
It's a tea. It's a cleansing
Well,
thing. You can make like not so much a tea. It's a bush. You boil it and drink it, and it really clean you out.
Okay, so
you
let's
gotta be careful. It
see
could
this.
clean you out a little bit too much. So tell us a little bit about.
But it's in your country, in the island. We call it different. You call it something else, and you call it something else.
Right.
So, but it's not.
Cersei is what I see.
It's
they're selling here.
scientifically known as Mamardic
Oh.
Carantia.
Oh. Okay. That's the scientific name. Okay, so tell us
That's the
about this thing.
It's a very bitter herb. It purifies the blood and the body. It is a native of Africa and the Middle East, and can today be found in almost every part of the world. The yellow fruit with the red seeds, known as bitter melon, because in the Middle Eastern countries they call it bitter melon, even though we call it Cersei. It can be eaten as well as they can be cooked, which is popularly used in Chinese dishes. Yeah, that's why the Chinese are so slim, because they eat a lot of that. The leaves and fruits were used to make soup and stews.
That bitter thing is
Yes,
used to me.
you take out
It
the
tastes
seeds.
horrid,
Once
guys.
you take out the
It
seeds,
tastes horrible.
no. When you take out the seeds, I cook it. You take the seeds out and you cook it with codfish. It's the most delicious dish.
No, I'm talking the bush.
Oh, the bush. Okay,
that's
okay.
a horrid tasting thing.
Oh.
It's good, but it's horrid.
Well, it is the most popularly used herb in Jamaica, and has proven to work for whatever it is used for. Older folks tend to use it more and will most times recommend it to whatever ailment they think it is good for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the health benefits. The number one medicinal benefits for the cure of abdominal pains. A small bundle of the leaves and vines with some ginger boiled to make a tea with a little sugar or honey added is effective. But it is more effective used unsweetened. The tea is used to treat parasitic worms, liver problems, as a tonic, and as a blood and body cleanser. The herb has detoxifying properties and is used as a washout to purge the body. That I know. The leaves crushed to get the juice extracted in a bath with water is used to bathe to treat ailments such as rashes, eczema, sores, and naturally to give your skin a cleaner, more refined look. That is true. I use it and scrub my skin. It is effective in fighting constipation. That is true. It decreases menstrual cramps and can treat
That is true.
urinary tract in infection. That is true. Cerasee contains nutrients like iron, vitamins A and C, phosphorus, and alkaloids. Thus, its effectiveness in treating many ailments. Cerasee can be purchased in supermarkets here and around the world. It is dried and sold in plastic wraps or sold in tea bags.
Tea bags, yeah.
Now the tea bags, like let's say these ladies wanted to try Cerasee, it would be best for them to try the tea bags because it doesn't have the bitter effect that.
It's still very bitter.
But not as
But
bitter
not as bad if you got the bush
Yeah.
itself. No, this thing is very good for you, but it tastes. I mean, I'm making a face just thinking of it. It's a bitter, like bitter.
It's like a
Like
medicine.
we're drinking moringa tea. That's our tea of choice in Caribbean house style. But this doesn't have much of a taste. This one is bitter where I can't drink it without I make a face.
I drink
Wait,
it 3 times a
is
week.
it like Moby?
Oh,
a
Moby's
different
nothing
taste.
compared to that.
It's a different taste.
really?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, but this
Okay, nobody's gonna
after
try
you
this,
get
Trish.
used to
I mean,
no, she's exaggerating
Yeah.
because
No, I'm not.
after
No,
you
I'm
get accustomed to the taste, she knows what I'm talking about. After you get accustomed to your taste, it doesn't taste bitter anymore.
You're
Well,
like-
I'm sorry you didn't
there's
bring
no
some
way.
so we could try.
Yeah, we're gonna try some on the next show. There's no way that could not taste bitter, unless you have no taste buds.
No, but I mean,
but I would say this:
yeah.
it is whatever bitterness you taste. Because when I tell you, I suffered from menstrual cramps when I was a young girl. My grandmother introduced me to that, and that used to clean me out, and it helped a lot. So it has a lot of really good benefits. I must also say that that it is something that you have to be careful because it does clean you out, and it could clean. There's such a thing as cleaning yourself out too much. And let me also say this: that this is such a potent herb that you have to be careful. We don't want to. We're not medical people, and when we're bringing these holistic things, we're not telling you to go to do it in addition or instead of your medications. If you're somebody who's on medication, I say this is not one to mess with because it is very potent, and we don't know what it's going to do, what it's going to interact with, and what it's going to trigger off. If you're somebody who's relatively healthy, and this is a regimen you want to incorporate into your life to take your little, simple kind of things, or just to keep your body moving well, then that's fine. But we don't want you to try anything like this if you're on medication. We don't want you to stop your medication or mix your medication with it. And if you think you want to try something like this, go talk to your doctor and see if they think it's a good idea.
Well, I want to
Okay.
try it.
Well, it is not recommended to do more than 3 times a week.
Okay.
It's not
I used
recommended
to do
because
once a
it's a
month.
blood thinner,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a blood thinner. So I wouldn't do it more than I only do it once a week. Really, I drink it on a Friday night. Because it sort of cleans the body a little bit. But don't drink this thing
Not on a regular.
on a regular
Okay.
basis.
All right.
Good stuff.
All right, we're gonna go to our news and notes section before we wrap up this edition of Caribbean House Talk. In the news, well, this week I had a chance to attend a tax seminar that my company put on for employees, and they were discussing the different pros and cons. And one of the things that I walked away with, and one of the people kind of pointed out, is that
The pros and cons of what?
the pros and cons of the tax laws, like who benefits from this? If you benefit from this, but then this is gone, or this is gone, but there's another something that could help you.
So this was the tax reform
The
of
tax-
2017?
Right.
Okay.
But one of the problems that I had with it is it seems like we've also about some of these heavy Democratic states, like New York, Connecticut, Maryland. We have high property taxes and income taxes. So there's now a cap of $10,000. Now, if you live in the deep south or some place where, which by the way happen to be Republican, most of those states, the taxes are lower. And it just seems to me like this administration is purposely doing this or pushing this through because it's not going to affect its constituent. It's going to affect New York. It's going to affect New Jersey, Maryland, these Democratic areas. My property taxes are over $10,000 alone. So that means that all my income taxes that I'm paying, I have a cap of $10,000. If I was somebody who live in the deep south, who live in a state where the taxes are lower, income taxes are lower, maybe this wouldn't affect me because maybe I don't even get up to $10,000 come by. But when you have property taxes that are over $10,000 and then you have all this high tax bracket and you're being capped, this is insane. This one made me blast off.
Yes.
This is total insanity.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, but it's total insanity and cruelty to do this to people. You walk and you pay your share taxes, and you have these little breaks that you get to kind of help you, stay level on things, and they find this way to screw you, and it looks like it's just a tax cut, but when you look at who it
Who's
affects,
affected by it?
it's along the lines of politics. It's politically driven, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing I heard this morning, where they were saying, the Trump and the administration, they went and sent the bombing or whatever in Syria. And what the person on the radio was saying is that, and this is typical Trump stuff, is that he did that and the news covered all of that. Meanwhile, the same point last week, he filed an executive order so that you cannot obtain I think it was Medicaid or food stamps if you're not working.
Yeah.
So he signed an executive order. Nobody knew about it. I didn't know about it until I heard that
He knows how to play the media.
So he does, yeah. He'll do one thing, meanwhile he's slipping something else in.
That's typical strategy of the Republicans.
We have to watch.
Yeah, whenever you see these things coming out, he has something he's slipping in the back to you.
Yeah.
And he's hoping that the media will be so preoccupied with that they're going to miss whatever he's trying to get in there.
Yep, and he's pushing an
agenda
through that's very negative, that hurts a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. This is a rich man. Rich family, rich man. He doesn't empathize with people like the average person out there. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Mm-hmm. And the sad thing is that a lot of poor people who need some of the very things that he's voting against, they got him there. Mm-hmm. They got him there.
Everything is reversed since this administration.
Anything that was humane and empathetic towards the average person,
reversed.
We bust it.
Yeah.
And people who need some of this very help are voted against their best interests.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was
It's
doing
America,
some taxes, I do taxes, and I was handling something for my daughter, and they were like, oh wow, this looks really great. So all that money we're paying in student loans, we're gonna get something out of it. And I said, you better enjoy the benefit this year, because Trump's policy, his plans were in 2019, when you file your 2018 taxes, you're not going to get anything from it. And I've had several clients who pay $10,000, $15,000 in college student loans, and now that interest, all that interest, is not going to count for anything, So we're all going to be really hurt by these tax issues that are being put in place undercover.
Voting is important and essential.
Yeah.
You have to think
It's
about
on
that.
It's on theirs.
And
Ay,
urge all the people around.
Get out. Get out.
Get out and
vote.
vote. And not just the major vote, the primaries. Like here,
Yeah.
Oh,
here in
I
the
think
States
even more
this
important.
year, this year,
Those primaries.
people don't know, and I didn't know either because I didn't look at the calendar, but it was brought up in a meeting I was at yesterday that the primaries this year are going to be on September 13th,
Yes,
which is
yes.
a Thursday.
A Thursday.
You know, where
Yes.
typically we do the primaries on September, on the second Tuesday of the year,
Yeah.
right? Always second Tuesday, but because it's September 11th, which is something that
Yeah,
means something
yeah,
in history
yeah,
to
yeah.
us in the
It's
States.
going to be on the
Thursday,
Thursday.
right? They're going to
Yeah.
switch it to a Thursday, so we have to encourage people to get out and vote. Your vote counts, and it means a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh Lord, what a tangled web we weave with this whole political landscape in America today. But it is what it is, as Lady H just said.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, if you have comments or questions for us, you can email us at qxtv1@gmail.com, or you can also email us at contactus@qxtv.com. Both email addresses are on the screen below. We welcome your comments and your ideas, and if we use your ideas on the show, we will send you a gift. You may even get a chance to appear on Caribbean House Talk. All right? So again, thank you for joining us on Caribbean
Thank
House
you.
Talk, and we look forward to seeing you on our next edition. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.